My chat on? What's going on here? Show live chat, yeah. We want live chat. Q&A. Good morning, motherfuckers. Trying to get set up here so y'all can see what's going on. Seeing how many other bored people there are out there right now. It's actually only 2:30, 3 a.m. here in China right now. Try not to bump this camera around too much. I want to keep it over the bench. Rotate device. I did rotate device. What's going on here? At the dump? That's what's up, bro. Dumping some shit. Why is this rotate device thing? What's going on here? I want to rotate device. Shingles? Who's got shingles? Who got shingles? Let's hope my Chinese internet holds out. What's this rotate device thing going on here? Why won't it rotate? It says it's locked. Ah, roofer. I used to do roofing back in the day in Florida. Nice and toasty hot. Tile, torch downs, mop downs. We did it all. Gravel. Wood shake. Oh man, watch out for the scorpions. I used to have to smash scorpions with my little roofing hammer. When we use those cedar shingles, scorpions would come running out of them every now and then. How the hell do I rotate my device? Enable flash? No, I don't need flash. Yeah, I was a roofer back in the day, bro. Brutal in that Florida sun. Brutal. We mostly did the lifetime shingles, the three-dimensional shingles. Those were popular back then. It says very bad connection. I don't know. Let's hope the China internet holds out. All right, I'm trying to get you guys set up in this little clamp right here. I'm trying to turn it sideways, but it says rotate device is locked. How do I unlock rotate device? What's going on here? Settings, enable flash, mute microphone. No. Oh, you guys don't want to see me. I just woke up. But I need to get this done, because this is my little scrapper that I crashed yesterday. I suppose I should turn my soldering iron on. And it was totally my fault. I had a CL Racing F4 board on here, and I had a nick in one of these wires. So I repaired the wire, and when I did that, I dripped some solder on the board, and when I fired the board up, it fried my 5-volt regulator. So that's what happens. And I had these LD power motors on here. It's a shame. These motors are so freaking awesome. They don't make them anymore. But the problem they had with these motors, and these are like the original motors that they gave me a couple years ago for review and to help them get shit going. The problem they had with these motors, I don't know, can you see inside of there? The wires that went inside of there, they didn't secure the wires. And I had actually forgotten about this because I had some that I did myself. I slid a piece of you can see I slid a piece of heat shrink up in there to hold them still. Well, what happened with these original little guys, and they don't make these anymore, so don't worry about it. But you can see the wires are loose in there, so they would vibrate around, and the little hairs would break off on the wires, and then of course touch places they're not supposed to touch, and then sizzle fry. So yeah, I sizzled those, so I had to swap them out. Check out these are the old school F40s. And the reason, this is my little scrapper. I don't know if you guys saw my little scrapper video. And I'm building out of just scrap parts that I had sitting around. Like this was a broken TBS that I semi-repaired with some hot glue and heat shrink. It's good to go. Look at that. Anyway, the reason I'm using these, I forgot I had these on my shelf. Some of them are actually still brand new. When everybody hyped up and T-Motor came out with all the new series of F40s, they had, here in China, I got these for $9 a piece. So I bought like 10 of them. So I think I still have 7 left. So I still have 3 spares if I crash these. I didn't have any spares of those. If I crash these, I still got 3 spares to keep this little guy going. So anyway, here's the main deal right here. The new Matek F411 Mini. Check that little dude out. And this is the MPU 6000, so it doesn't have the hypersensitive gyro on it. Because this is going to be my park bash and race practicer here for the winter and off season. I don't know if you guys saw my other video on this, but this thing is so cool. It sits on these little gummies on top of the PDB like so. So it makes a tight, nice, neat little teeny stack in there. How freaking cool is that? Matek, first of all, because it's a 20 by 20 board, right? I could just, if I wanted to build like a 3-inch or something, I could just get a little mini 4-in-1, 20 by 20 4-in-1, and the little grommets will go right on the little 4-in-1, and then I have a nice, neat, tiny little stack for like a 3-inch. Huh? How about that? How about that? The other F4, here, let me grab it. Hold on a second. The other, and they're making the F405 in a mini now also, which I just put in this build right here, this Astro X. And this thing is freaking, look how nice that stack is in there. Fit in this Astro freaking perfect. This is the Micro version 2. I was absolutely blown away how good the freaking image is in this little camera. Holy crap. Very cool. Anyway, that's my new Astro. I know Astro kind of targets racing, but after flying, this thing flies with that F405 in there and the design of this frame. This thing flies so freaking stable. I mean, it feels so comfortable in the air. This is actually more the feeling in the air for me. This felt more like my freestyle type, acro type frames, the way it flew. I don't know, we'll see. It felt a lot better freestyling it than trying to rip it through the gates when I flew it yesterday. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so let's try to get to this here. I don't know why my camera won't rotate, guys. It says rotate device is locked, and I can't unlock it. So I'm going to have to redo this mount I got going on here. Stick you guys up here in the air while I do this crap. See if we can get you adjusted around here so you can see. Is there any advantages of the Matek over the Betaflight board? Yeah, freaking the Matek board is so easy to set up, dude. It is so awesome. And it's also 6S, 4 to 6S. I personally have not used the Betaflight board, but Matek, they had a hiccup with that all-in-one board. But since then, they have just been innovating and innovating and innovating and coming out with all this like this, right? How freaking cool is that? What's really cool about this is just a PDB. So I could set this in any orientation. If I want my battery leads coming out of the side, if I want it coming out of the back, whatever. I mean, it's just, this opens up so many possibilities. It has the S6 signal for the camera control, which is super easy to set up. I set it up on that Matek F411 in like 5 minutes. It's just a CLI command. And then the sticks on my Tyrannus, very, very cool. Hopefully we'll have time to get to that later and I'll be able to do the full setup on this. Oh, and Samson from Matek messaged me last night and he's sending me some of the... Matek just keeps innovating and innovating and innovating. And I'll tell you what, I've been a huge fan of these since they came out with the F405 board. And I have it in a bunch of builds. Ribbon cable, they still use the ribbon cable on the F405, which I think is freaking cool as hell. There it is right there. And I have 4 or 5 builds with this F405. Well, let's see, currently I have 3 builds with this F405 in it. And I have never had a problem with that ribbon cable. I know like Bardwell or somebody was like, oh, it's going to pull out. Or it's gonna... Nope. I've had 0 issues. Plugs right in. And they give you a spare one. So if you do burn it with the soldering iron or a branch rips it out, they give you an extra one in the pack. My internet is doing funny stuff. Sorry, guys. Wires onto the pins that it has. Samson messaged me last night. Can you guys hear me? Somebody punch in a yeah in the chat or something. Because I never know about this Chinese internet. Coffee. Hello? Is there anybody out there? Can you hear me? Can you not hear me? Hello? Hello? Well, I don't know. So I'll just keep moving right along here, since I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Since there's nobody in the chat. Alright, so we got to get the battery deal on here first. I'm using one of these XT60s. It slides into here like so. Bombed out for a minute. We're back though, right? We're back. I don't know if you heard my response to the ribbon cable question, but the F411 does not use a ribbon cable. So that you can put it in a micro build or stack it on top of a... Okay, you did hear that? Cool, 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 cool. I'm using this XT60 on here because with these soldering pads on these Matek PDBs that are like pressed all the way through, you don't really need to worry about those pads pulling off like you do on some other boards. You can solder that little sucker right on there like so. And it's got a little cap that goes on it. This is called an XT60PW. For if any of you guys want to use this. And once you solder it on, you pop this little cap back on there. Like so. Right? And then you got a nice, neat little little deal there. Once this guy's soldered on, it ain't going nowheres. Nowheres. So, let's get that on there first. So take this little cap off of here. What I like to do is like stick a pair of tweezers or something inside of there for like a heat sink. And try to do it all on camera at the same time. Throw some crap on top of it so it doesn't slide around too much. Let's see here, what we got here. Let's throw that on there. Get our little board out of the way. Don't reverse polarity. Yeah, right? I double, triple checked. I've done that before. I think we all have. So we got the little positive. Ouch! Got the little positive right there, positive right there. If you put this guy on the board upright, it has to have polarity. The only way you can mess it up is if you put it on upside down. But, get back in there. But, let's be sure, yeah, we're the right way. We're the right way. My sponge is all nice and moistened. Nice moist sponge in the morning. So let's get this sucker on there. Let's get this little sucker on there. This little doodad. Dang little doodad thing. Solder strung out all over the place here. Smacking the camera around. This little guy in so I can see what the hell's going on. I don't know, maybe I don't need that so you guys can see okay. Let me try to lower this camera a little bit here because I can't see the chat. I don't want it. I don't want it too high where you guys can't see what's up. Oh, hold still. What I like to do with these, pretty much all my battery connectors, is just get one side kind of tacked in there so that it doesn't wiggle around on you anymore. Just tack one side like that, and then go ahead and do up the other side so that it holds still, because if you try to do the one side all at once, the thing tends to wiggle around. You guys know what I mean? So I just tack one side and then do the other side. And then once I got that all nice and solidified jalapeno, wait for it to cool down a sec, then we'll go back to the other side. That way it doesn't wiggle around. Get a nice pool in there. Woo. Oof. Nice puddle. Puddle of mud. Let's check her out. Ooh, look at that. It's melted through to the other side, which is a good thing. That is freaking fantastic. See, that thing ain't going nowhere. I don't care how many times you yank on that lead. That thing ain't going nowhere. So that's why we're going to use that guy right there. That little doohickey. Looks like my little current sensor guy's in the way right there, so I can't snap my little cap on. Let's see. Ow, it's still hot. Stupid. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, it still goes on there. Look at that. Nice. Okay. There's that. Moving right along. I use caps on everything, whether it needs it or not. Just because it keeps a nice regulated flow. Not even just for the video, but it just keeps a nice regulated flow through all the electronics. Can't hurt, right? Make sure we got polarity right on this sucker, because we don't want to pop. We don't want to hear no poppins. Negative, negative, that's it. And what I'm going to do here is just use a teeny little bit of double. What size what? What size is this cap? It is a 1025 volt. 1000 UF. And when you use these caps, make sure you get the low ESR. Electronic Signal Resistance, I think it stands for, or something like that. Something along them there lines. I'm going to use a little piece of sticky tape to hold this sucker still. Actually, hold on. Let's check something out here and make sure we're going to be able to clear the frame with that. I might have to stick that out a little further. You guessed right. That's awesome, bro. Looks like we're good there. But you guys see that? Those little wires are like close to the carbon. We don't want to be shorting nothing out there. So what I'm all gonna do here is I am going to got this awesome little heat shrink kit for like $1. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of, I don't know, how about blue? We'll use a piece of blue, and I'm gonna stick it on these little legs right here to make sure we don't short this thing out on the frame somewhere. So clip these little doohickeys off. Doohickey my bobs. And let's put a couple tiny little pieces of this on there. Too long. It's too long. Just to make sure we don't, those wires don't touch the carbon. Those feet, these little fetuses, don't touch the carbon somewhere and give us trouble down the road. Where'd it go? Well, here's what we'll do. A little piece of red laying right there next to me, so we'll use the red on there. How about that? Get on there. So, stick that little sucker on there like so. That'll work. That'll work just fine. You're a little shrinky poo. Oh, so what I was saying, guys, is Samson messaged me last night, And he's sending me one of their newest AOI boards. I know they had some glitches with that original AOI board, but I am still a huge fan of Matek. I don't care what anybody says. These guys have been shaking and baking and innovating like crazy. And these freaking boards fly amazing. I don't care what anybody says. Now the new board has a barometer on it, which is aimed more towards long range stuff, I would guess. But here's something to note. When I'm race practicing, right? We want to practice throttle control. Make sure my polarity is right on this. Get back on there, little heat shrinkies. We want to learn throttle control, right? So believe it or not, a barometer is very, very helpful in that realm. Because I turn the barometer on so that I can see my max height at the end of the flight. So when I'm race practicing, right, and I'm trying to keep my throttle control and my height down and everything like that, I can see at the end of the flight that my max height was, 10 feet, or was I drifting out in the corners and it was 20 feet, 30 feet, if I rolled too hard, yawed too hard, flipped up in the air type stuff, you know what I mean? So actually a barometer, not just for long range, but it's also very helpful for race practice. Just an FYI. For me, anyway. I mean, you guys can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't give a fuck. What? Hold on, let me look at my chat here. What's going on? What are you guys talking about? No real-time data. What does that mean? What do you mean no real-time data? Yeah, it has real-time data if you want to put it in your OSD, if that's what you mean. But I don't. I put it on the end so I can just see it on the end. I mean, you can put it on real-time data. But when I'm race practicing, all I really want to see in my data and my OSD, for me personally, is like battery voltage to make sure I'm not frying my lipo. And then I can look at the rest of the stats at the end of my flight. But as I always say, guys, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't give a fuck. Just because I do it or somebody else does it doesn't mean that you have to do it. You guys do it the way you want to do it. Tells you your attitude? No, it tells you your altitude. Maybe I misread that. Oh, you did say altitude. Okay. I thought it said attitude. Duh. Yeah, barometer reads your altitude, bro. So it's real helpful for long range stuff, when you're trying to stay up in the air and keep your signal and whatever, and you can't really see that far away. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's targeted more towards long range stuff, but it's also very helpful when practicing racing. Because, like I said, I can see where my throttle control's at. And see that I'm not drifting out too high in the corners, I want to stay nice and level through all the gates. You know what I mean? Of course, if there's I like changes in elevation, the rings up in the air and stuff like that. But if all the gates are only 5 feet high, and I look at my barometer and I'm going around a corner and my max altitude at the end is 30 feet. I'm blowing way too high up in the air, and it's costing me precious seconds to come back down and get through the gates. The other thing is a lot of races here in China, they do inside of a netted cage. Because we race in weird places like on top of malls and stuff like that, like right next to the airport. So they put up a huge, huge netted cage around it. So you really have to be careful. You really got to fly tight. You can't make mistakes and wash out in the corner and shoot up in the air and stuff like that. So looky there, we got a nice neat little package there. Get my magnifying glass and check these Check out these here welds. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That one on the negative side. Well, I guess it's okay. I don't really like it when I can see like a puddle on top of... Can you guys see that? A puddle on top? Because it means it didn't like totally fuse together, but it seems solid. But my OCD says, nope, we're going to remelt that. When I do these builds, and I was hesitant to do this live thing because I'm very meticulous and slow about my builds, because I check like every solder joint as I go through that. It's far better. That way I know at the end of the day, when I plug this sucker in, I don't need a smoke stopper. So, check the positive, we're good there. That little side of the cap isn't snapped in there all the way. It'll be alright. I don't care. We're good there. Negative on the capacitor is on the right side, so we don't hear a big pop. And we're good. There's our battery connector. So yeah, this is probably going to be a pretty long live stream. Hats off to any of you guys that sit all the way through it. Look at all the goodies Matek sends me. Samson is freaking awesome. Here's some more F411 boards. And I'm going to be using, yeah, buddy. Here's our little mountain stuff. Thingamabobbies. Thingamajiggers. Let's shut my soldering iron off because we're going to, oh wait, no, we're going to do the, well, anyway. So, you pop the little bobbins inside of the, there's a couple screws here, hang on. I got a few screws loose. Pop the little rubber bobbins inside there. Oh, what's really cool is if you do a mini build with this, like a micro, like a 3-inch, they give you these little sleeves right here, right? You guys see that? So if you're using 2.5 millimeter instead of the normal M3s, these little sleeves slide inside of there and convert the little bobbins to the 2.5 for the micro builds. How freaking smart is that? These guys, I tell you what. That's what's up, man. That's what's up right there. Yeah. So now, I'm going forward that way. Make sure we're at the top of the board. That's forward. So now we just slide these little dudes in there, the screws that it comes with. Hopefully you guys can see all this good enough. Slide those up in the hole, and they just slide right through the bobbin there, the grommet, the doodad, and my hicker thingy. Bro, if you're talking to Matek, circle hole for positive and square hole for negative, so you can never reverse the polarity. What are you talking about? On the battery connection? Is that what you mean? Circle and square? Because on the boards themselves, they do circle and squares. All the grounds are a square. If you mean on the battery connection, on the PDB, one of these should be a circle and one should be a square. Is that what you're saying? Nah, bro. Look here, man. See this right here? Positive. Positive. Oh, Lordy. I would say, okay, I'm being a little bit of a smartass there, but I would say the reason is because the way they press these through the board, right? So they go through both sides of the board so that they're super solid and strong. It'd probably be a little difficult to make one a circle, I would think. You know, it may be a lot harder to do, maybe a little more expensive, maybe won't hold as well because they're pressed all the way through the board. You know what I'm saying? The pins as well. If you mean on the board itself, they do put circles and squares. All the grounds are little squares. I don't know if you can see it, but right there's a ground and it's a square. And all the other pins are circles. They already do that, bro. Try to keep up with the rest of the class, man. What's up with you? So these little guys right here, right? You don't even need to, all I do with these is just screw them down by hand. Stupid camera. So they're just at the top of these nuts right here. And that's it. Got 2 more to go. The shallow stubby. What's shallow stubby? Talking about the shallow stubby, huh? I'm sorry about that, bro. Your girlfriend must be very disappointed in you. No, I'm just kidding. The yellow stubby? You mean this? This isn't made by Matek. This is a XT60 connector. But I see what you're saying. You want the posts to be one a circle and one a square? I mean, rule of thumb is this round part is always negative, right? And the side with the little minus thing is always negative. And then over here on the square side, right? Square side is always positive. And there's a little plus sign right there that also indicates that this side is your positive. So there you go. So, anyway. We almost got her together here. And then we'll get to some soldering. Some soldering. I must be out of my mind doing this shit at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I couldn't sleep, and I got a bunch of guys coming from Shanghai tomorrow to fly with me. And all I have is like my really good quads because I crashed this one yesterday, so I need to get it done to fly with the guys tomorrow. And I've been dying to put this 411 board on there. So, and I know this is the time that everybody else in the world is up. It's only the middle of the night on planet China. All right, so there we go. Check that little dude out. That little sucker right there, ain't she cute? Got these from my other boards I need to put back in my little Matek stash box yonder. See, I already got my motors on here. We already got our ESCs. So I cheated a little, but hopefully this doesn't take too long. Now, I was looking at this earlier, and I have to put it the right way because some of these wires aren't going to be long enough to reach the signal otherwise. So this, wait, yeah. No, that's right. Because this is a short wire here. I can go to so that will be motor number 4 with the short wire there. And we got motor number 2, that'll reach. Motor number 1, that'll reach. And number 3 was the one I was worried about. And it is just barely barely going to reach there. Barely. I'm even a little tempted to replace that, but I think it's gonna be fine. I think it'll be all right. So we're all just gonna lay across here like this, because this is like the old school way of hooking up the board, where you put the signal wires on, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all cool with that? What's going on in my chat here? I got this phone at kind of a funky angle and a little high, so I can't really see the chat going. What about the F3 boards? Hold on a second. Let me readjust you guys a little bit here. Now you're all up in my face. Let's catch up on the chat. What will the future be 20? This is a 20 by 20 board right here, bro. This is a 20 by 20. You can put this on a micro. Just stick it right on top of a 4-in-1 and stick it on your 3-inch or whatever. This is a 20 by 20. So are the new F405s. I got one here somewhere. Hold on. There's another mini. Oh, here we go. See, here's the new F405, and it's a 20 by 20 also. And it comes with the little rubber grommets that you can stick on top of the full-size build. My frame, guys, I do not know exactly when it will be available at the Underground FPV store, because we're going through a wee bit of an issue. Yeah, seems like everything's going 2020, but Matek is like on the leading edge of that. Freaking guys, Matek is awesome. Matek gear is coming straight from Matek, you know what I mean? It's not a clone type deal. And these guys are really shaking and baking and innovating. I mean, they've came out with, what, 3-4 new boards in like a month? I mean, come on, hats off. You don't see many other companies advancing things, and every board has been a step and a step and a step better. And these are so easy to hook up now. And you could even hook up your camera controls, smart audio, you know, everything is so freaking easy. The other thing is Matek has a website. I mean, if you have any questions on how any of this hooks up, all you do is punch in Matek, punch in what kind of board this is on their website, and it shows you every hookup, every CLI command, how to configure. It's just so freaking cool. It even has links on the flash targets and just everything. So anyway, my frame, back to this, my frame, I have a bit of a disappointment here. Still flies amazing, but the last batch of 20 of these that I printed up, I went up a notch on the carbon fiber. I used like the top notch carbon fiber that I could find. And a really weird thing happened is now it has like a low throttle resonance in the frame that's causing jello in my GoPro. Only low throttle, mid to high throttle, it's no problem. So until I get that figured out, I may have to go back to the other carbon I was using. Let me see, I think I got another one. Here's the original one. You can see the difference in the carbon fiber. And this thing I had zero issues with. So I may need to go back to this carbon fiber. Because I upgraded, I wanted to use like the top carbon fiber. But this carbon fiber also worked really well. But it's all trial and error, you know. I'm not like a carbon fiber. But now somebody did suggest to me, and I'm going to try this, that maybe if I seal the edges, because I have the chafed edges on here. Somebody suggested if I seal the edges, it may knock out. Actually, Chris Random FPV, my boy Chris, what up, Random? Suggested maybe if I seal the edges, it will dull that resonance frequency that's going through the frame. Yeah, I don't know. It's really freaking weird, man. So you guys think you can just draw up a frame and cut one and lay it out and you're good to go, man. It's a process. So anyway, until I get that figured out, we're kind of on hold with Underground, with distribution of the frames. And I have like 20 of those printed up in that carbon fiber that I'm going to have to eat out of pocket. So, yeah, CA glue. Who knows? You know, maybe if I seal those edges, it will dull that resonance in the frame just enough so that I don't get any jello going on there. Just got a 411, 411, 35 amp converter on a Tokyo Stretch. Awesome. Dude, those guys are freaking awesome, aren't they? Envy Astro and Said Hendo, man, they put out some killer videos. They freaking kill me. What up, guys? And those torture tests and shit, those guys are fucking awesome. I love their videos, man. I love their videos. Old Said Hendo, your baby mama. Oh, I'm sorry. He says your baby's daddy. Your baby mama. Yeah, those guys freaking rock, man. That Tokyo Stretch is a nice frame, too. And what did he just come out with? He just came out with another one called the Fuck It or something like that. I don't know. Those guys freaking kill me, man. Those guys kill me. You know, Envy Astro has been around doing this shit for a while. He is also Flight Club. So all those old Flight Club videos with the Naze 32 builds and shit like that, that's all Envy. If you have any success with the CA, let us know. Of course I will. Of course I will, bro. If the CA works, then we're good to go. And we'll just switch the frames out later. But I'm not Banggood. I'm not a Chinese company. This is not my main business. So I don't have to make money off of these frames. So I am not going to release anything that is not 100%. You know what I'm saying? I just, I can't do it. I have no reason to do it. I'm not just going to throw something out there that I don't feel is 100% to try to make $1 off of anybody. I don't need to. That's not my game. Ain't happening. I ain't about that shit. I ain't playing that shit. I already have a successful business, guys. I don't need to make any money off these frames. In fact, when these frames get released, the only type of markup will be on it is like whoever deals them, right, will have to have, of course, their markup fee to pay for their business and shipping and whatever. But other than that, I'm really not going to make spit off of them. And I don't care. My whole goal for this was just to build a badass freaking park thrasher, slam into trees, fly freaking amazing frame. That was the result. And this thing does that. I've smashed it into trees, into metal, into rocks, into whatever, and it just keeps right on flying. No problem whatsoever. Oh, you guys want to see this? Now, here's what's really strange. Check this out. This is the world's only 6-inch Skadoosh frame. Exact same carbon fiber, zero jello. Now, answer me that. This is the exact same carbon fiber as the 5-inch, and I have zero jello. Isn't that freaking crazy? And now with that 5-inch, it wasn't just me. I sent one to Waz also. Waz is flying one down in Hong Kong, and he's getting the same thing. He's getting that low throttle jello in his GoPro video. I mean, you can't feel it. You can't see it in the quad. The quad flies crispy, freaking amazing. But when you go back and review the footage on the GoPro, there's low throttle. There's the video is just riddled with jello, just like that. See that? So anyway, this I have zero issues with this 6-inch. And part of that is, shout out to Zong. Jong sent me a whole big old box of his brand new HQ 6x3x3s. And these things are freaking butter, baby. So anyway, we're getting kind of distracted here. Let's do, all right, guys, here's what we're going to do. I want to smoke a cigarette, and I don't smoke in my house. So before we turn the soldering iron back on and get into a bunch of soldering, we're going to step out on the porch and have a cigarette, and I will answer questions for a minute. Not that I'm anybody special or any super tech advisor or anything like that, but I'll do my best. Check that out. That's my coffee cup with my name in Chinese. The Bean says, barn one. 6-inch frame with the 5x5. Yeah, I thought about the 5.5s, but I have, you know, the 6 inches fit fine on there. And it's got better disc unloading. Now, I will say I do want to try some 5.5s on these Astro frames because I got room on them. I got a couple of these Astros. And I absolutely love the way they fly. I've had this. This is the Astro over a year. This thing is freaking awesome. Do cars still have ashtrays in China? Absolutely. You can smoke anywhere you want in China. In the restaurant, in the taxi, in the elevator. You can pee on the sidewalk. Nobody cares. Stop in the... Apparently, it's okay to stop in the middle of the highway if you need to text on your phone, too. Because that happens quite frequently. I'll walk you guys here. Out my hood. My faithful hound. She's such an awesome dog. So here's my neighborhood, you guys. Prop Nut, what up? So like I said, it's like 3 in the morning. I think it's like 3:30 now. Here's my neighborhood. I live in a gated community in all these skyscrapers here. All those ones, this whole neighborhood is brand new. 2 years ago, this was all farmhouses. I live right on the edge of the city. Over that way is like 14 million people. These buildings across the street from me, they aren't even finished yet. They just got through painting them. Nobody even lives in them yet. Even the streets are brand new. All brand new trees, landscaping, everything. Love it. Nice and quiet around here at night. I live right by the bullet train station. Oh yeah, Prop Nut. See, down there is a school. I am definitely going to rip down this street one of these days here real soon. No doubt about it. I'm going to go stand at that intersection right down there. And I'm going to do some Matty stunt fucking 200-foot high flips around those skyscrapers. Yeah, it's unbelievable how quiet it gets around here at night. During the day, it's just insanity. Fireworks, people screaming, horns honking, cars everywhere. At night, you can hear a pin drop. But you can see, like, I think the only reason the lights are on here is because, well, the construction lights on the cranes up there, because they're still building those buildings, and there's a school down there. Let me see if I can get guys out here. And the school's all lit up. It is definitely blight enough to fly. Blight enough to fry. Fright enough to bry. Bright enough to fly. No doubt about it. The cost of living for me is less than the U.S. That highway where you had to recover your quad. Yes, it's also brand new. It's part of the neighborhood on the other side of me. There's nothing there yet. That road is completely blocked off. No cars can go through there. It's a tunnel underneath a lake where I guess they're planning future construction, because it's all like they mowed down all the farmhouses and now it's just like empty fields out there. But they put in all the substructure already, like the roads and stuff are already in, but it's all blocked off. The cars can't get in there. So yeah, that's only like a half a kilometer away from me where I crashed into that sign. And what was this other question here? Is the cost of living less than the U.S.? For me, it is, but it's you know, the exchange rate is right now is like 6.6 to 1 to the U.S. dollar. Long range flying through the tunnel, maybe. I don't know if you could keep video. I'm sure the FR Sky would do it. If you look at our the Rotor Riot Bando Island video, where Chad and I were flying in the tunnel underneath the island, underneath Bando Island, he had no problems in that tunnel. The cost of living, the exchange, I get paid in American dollars, so for me it's dirt cheap. But the exchange rate is like 6.6 to 1. But here's the deal. Just say arbitrarily you make $1,000 in the U.S. and I know it's going to be more than that. This is just round figures. Say you make $1,000 and your rent is $500 and your bills are $250. You know, so it costs you $750 a month to live, and then you got $250 to spend. It's the same thing here in China. If you make 1,000 yen, 1,000 RMB, your rent's 500, your bills are 250, and you got 250 to live. But because I get paid in American dollars, it's cheaper for me, if that makes sense. Like my rent is like 2,600 RMB, but in US dollars, that's only $400 bucks. $450 for my 3-bedroom brand new apartment. There it is, guys. There's where I live. Master bedroom, 2 bedrooms over there, kitchen. So many bandos. Why are there 1.2 billion? I don't know. It's vacant because it's brand new, bro. Nobody's moved in there yet, that's all. They just opened the buildings. Those ones over there are all still under construction. They're still painting on that one. That one's still wrapped in bamboo scaffolding. It's not that they're vacant, they're just not finished. But there is areas here that are like, they call ghost cities. That's a little crazy. Like even the other side here, I'll show you guys. There's my kitchen. Even the other side of my neighborhood, they just finished it. Oh, there's no lights on out here, so you guys probably can't see anything. But all those buildings over there are just shells right now. They just finished putting up the buildings. So my whole neighborhood down there, all those buildings are empty. You guys probably can't see that anyway. My board. Too cold to ride the board. I miss my board. Oh, and my Traxxas over there. The Slash, that thing's a freaking blast. Yeah, ghost cities where like the government put up a bunch of houses expecting people to move there and they never did. Like buildings and stuff. Chongzhou, that's not too far away from me, has a bunch of that going on. Alright, so back to what we were doing here. Let's fire up the old soldering iron and get these ESCs on here, boys. Another bonus of China. My soldering station right here. That thing cost me $12. Booyah. Okay, get you guys mounted back up here. Now, we're going to run into, booyah! We're going to run into a little dilemma here. Because I'm going to need to see what I'm doing and try to let you guys see what I'm doing at the same time. I'll see if I put it there, you guys can see, but then I can't see. So let's see. Let's see if we can see. See what we saw. Move you over here. My High Pro studio with my phone on a desk clamp. Then maybe I can sneak in here. You guys can see. Soldering process going on here. Oh, you know what I didn't calculate though? Yeah, it's gonna reach. The positive and negatives are crossed up on those. That's okay. We should be okay there. Should be alright. Some of this you guys may not be able to see because I'm gonna have to get in here and see what the hell I'm doing. And we got like, am I running capacitors ever? I always use a capacitor. Always. It's just good for the whole electronics all the way around. Even if I don't have video noise, it regulates the power through the whole system. You know, so like your voltage regulators, your chips, your Betaflight OSD, all this precious stuff that they stick on this board, even the traces that run through the board, it's just a much better idea to have a capacitor on there to keep everything regulated. I don't put caps on the ESCs. I only put one cap. No caps on the ESCs. Sorry guys, I forgot I need to put these nuts on here and clip these guys off. Yes, 1000 UF 25 volt for this guy here. I have some 35s too but they're a little bit of overkill and a little bit big. But this one has a 1000 UF low ESR 25 volt cap. That's my go-to cap right there. That's the one. I've never had a situation where I've needed to put... I haven't seen caps on ESCs since the old school DYS 30 amps. ESCs. They came with caps on them. Little 470s or something like that. But I've never put caps on ESCs. Cap versus no cap. Well, you know what? Honestly, this build would probably be fine without a cap. It won't have any, I always use TBS Unify and they have great filtering. Yes, these are Panasonic. But I use a cap anyway because like I just said, it's just way better for all the electronics, for the traces in the board, for, because voltage spikes don't, the TBS may filter out voltage spikes in my video, but all these little guys are still going to get the voltage spikes. So using that cap regulates the voltage through everything. The camera, your chips, your MPU 6000s, whatever your gyro is, your Betaflight OSD chip, the whole 9 yards. It's just better for the electronics all the way around. I mean, they put caps inside of computers for a reason. There's not really voltage spikes inside your computer. But there's no reason to not use a cap. I mean, what are they, like 20 cents a piece? I mean, I don't see any, there's no downside. There's no downside to it, so. Yeah, your LEDs, all of it's just much happier with a cap. I'm much happier with a cap sometimes. I like to wear my baseball hat in the grocery store so I can peek at the girls without them seeing me staring at their butts. Wow, we've already been at this for an hour and we've gotten like nowhere. Just yapping. Mini lipos at each. Yeah, right. Strap a little 1S on each ESC. You know what, guys? With the new BL Heli 32 ESCs, There's not a whole lot out there on those yet, right? Ooh. Maiden tonight? No, it will be maiden in the morning, more than likely. Oh, I still need to charge some batteries. BL Heli 32 ASCs. These are the things that really, really make me miss JC. Ooh, I just got chills just saying that. Because JC would have had full videos out on those things already. On how to set them up, how the parameters, everything. If you guys don't know who JC is, that's Project Blue Falcon. The guy was a phenomenal guy in the industry. And unfortunately, I never had the chance to meet JC face to face. We used to chat a lot via internet, blah blah blah. But yeah. The bean. I'm still using little bees. What? Hey, if they're flying, man, whatever works. Do it up. I tried those little bees back in the day, and they just had so much freaking noise. Build with the original ones. Wow. That's pretty cool, bro. Here, you want to see some old school shit? I'll show you some old school shit, cuz. Here you go. Take a look at that. That is an XM30, one of the original DYS ESCs that I said, like I said, they came with a capacitor already on them. Way back in the day. This is before there was even BL Heli S. Check that old guy out. It does? Your JC Tribute? That's freaking cool, man. Yeah, I have 4 of those ESCs. I haven't used them for anything. They're just hanging out. That's cool. Yeah, JC was awesome. All right. So we got our little nuts on there. I buy these plastic screws are like 25 millimeter. And I just buy a big old bag of these instead of buying all kinds of separate sizes. And I use these for everything. And then when I put them on like a build like this, right, I just put them how I need them and then boom. There's no sense in buying like 10 millimeter ones, 15 millimeter ones, trying to match them all up. Just buy the freaking long ones, stick them through and cut them off. One pack, done. And that's that. I don't even think there's a difference in price from those long ones to like the regular sized ones. Yeah, I still refer to JC's videos a lot too on different stuff. And I almost shed a tear every time I have to. The other day I was doing something, setting up something, I don't remember, in my Tyrannus or something, and I had to look back at his stuff to do what I was doing, and oh God, how heartbreaking, huh? Yeah, who is going to take his place for that knowledge? And just what he did, man, he would just bust out video after video of just straight up knowledge, man, just sharing straight up knowledge. We lost a good one there, fellas. So like I said, with all the BL Heli 32 stuff coming out and all the new boards coming out, as we all know, JC would already had this stuff. He already had some stuff going on the BL Heli 32 stuff that he never got a chance to finish. So it's moments like that when I'm trying to figure out new parameters on stuff. I know that guy would have sat down and like traced every pin and would have already had the knowledge out there for us. He was your first sub? That's awesome. Yeah, we do have some big shoes to fill there. I wouldn't even want to try. I don't have nearly the electronic knowledge that JC had, nor the patience. That guy sat down with a freaking tester and traced every pin on a new board when it came out so that he knew where every freaking pin went to every UART, whatever. So he could read. I mean, that's just freaking awesome. I know you guys can't see this, but I don't think you need to. All I'm doing is tinning up some pads. Do you think vector frame is a good man? I don't know. I'm not sure what a vector frame is, bro. Not really sure about that. I don't know what the vector frame is. Besides the frames that I cut myself, like this is one that I cut myself, and my Skadoosh frames, the only other frames I have are Astro frames. Currently. Not saying that I wouldn't use anything else. But for racing, I cut these frames, my own frames, because I can get these cut for like $12 a piece. So I don't mind just beating the absolute living crap out of them and then doing what I'm doing here. Let me tell you something. If you want to learn how to race, you're gonna beat some gear up, man. You're gonna seriously beat some gear. Now, if you just want to cruise through some gates, that's no problem. But if you want to seriously learn how to get faster and faster and faster, you always have to push the envelope and fly like to where you're uncomfortable. Push it to uncomfort level, which is hard on gear. It's just the way it is. Now I'm going to see if I can put you guys over here, kind of angled towards me. So I'm not going to be able to see the chat for a minute. And you guys may not even be able to see what's going on here while I solder these ESC leads on so I can see my solder joints and make sure that they are freaking awesome and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. Boom. Little thing I like to do here, I can't see the chat if you guys are chatting. A little thing I like to do here when I'm soldering these bigger pads like this is I actually slide the iron in like behind the solder on the pad and get it melted first, and then slide my lead, my wire, into the solder. Boom. Just like so. Positive, negative, positive, negative. Positive, negative. Uh-oh. My little princess is awake. Hopefully she keeps her composure for a minute here while we finish this up. Nice. Those are looking damn good. Those are looking damn good. Positive, negative, double check, triple check. Quadruple check. Check on the check. Positive, negative. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I can't see the chat, guys. I'll get back to you in just a second here. I'm almost done with the ESCs. Huh. I got one ESC upside down. Imagine that. My OCD wants me to flip that over. But then I'll have to desolder the motor wires too. So we're just going to cross these up. This was, like I said, this was my basher build. I blew an ESC the other day, so that must have been the one I blew. When I stuck it on upside down, apparently. So wires are backwards. Not that it really matters. It's not going to hurt a goddamn thing except my OCD. Not my OSD. My OSD will be fine. My OCD, on the other hand, is already impacted. Need to tin this little guy up a wee bit more. Ouch, it's still hot. And this is the last one. There we go, guys. Turn the soldering iron off to cool down so we can switch tips for all the little stuff. And then we'll get back to the chat. All right. Had a hard time soldering on my Furious Pico. Damn shaky old, hey, yeah, I get that every once in a while too, man. We all go through that shit. It happens. What usually happens to me is I get to the last solder joint. Everything goes along nice and smooth, and then I get to the last one, and I can't get the damn thing, and I got solder freaking everywhere, and cussing, and it won't stick, and next thing I know, I got a big old ball of solder on there, but how about that, huh? Boom! Those are beautiful. Beautiful little shiny balls of solder. Double check. Positive and negatives. Once again. Oh, man. Can I help you? Good morning. Hi. The princess just woke up, so now she's going to want to go outside and go potty. He's a good girl. He's my dog. That's my faithful companion right there. When I crash, she runs out and stands by my drone. I don't even need a beeper, although I do use beepers. And she wants to go outside and go potty. No doubt about it. So guys, 2 Traxxas slashes last year. Castle Creations, Brussels motor ESC, pretty uncontrolled. Oh yeah, those things. Even the stock ones are freaking badass, man. I'm looking for, the reason I bought that Traxxas is I sent my son one in the States also, the exact same one, and we've been doing Skype father-son upgrades on the trucks. Like I buy something, I bought the bone stock ones instead of the upgraded ones, and then I send him the exact same stuff that I buy and we install it together. So we've been slowly moving up. We just got the lowering kits for the Slash, and we just upgraded the, we bought the Fly Sky controller. because it has a little better range and some more, you know, tuning capabilities on it that we're going to put in there. Some bigger tires, blah, 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 all that. Well, guys, I may have to stop this for a minute because my dog wants to go, unless you guys want to walk outside with me. I mean, I don't care. It's an hour and a half already. I don't want to bore anybody to death. But I'm going to have to come back later and finish this up. Anyways, here's where we're at, right? So we got our 60 on there. This is called a PW, in case anybody wants to know what XT60 this is. And yeah, watch my dog shit. That's about it. The 1000 UF low ERS, you know what I mean, capacitor. There's our ESC soldered on. Basically, and I already have all this set up from the prior build that I screwed up on. So basically all we're going to do is solder on the VTX and camera leads and the motor signals. So I may do a video on how I set it up in Betaflight later, but I think you guys get the gist of it. I mainly wanted to highlight this F11 board because 411 board because it's just freaking awesome. It can go on a micro build, a full-size build, the whole 9 yards. It's got the S6, so you can do your camera controls real easy. Said you guys can go to the Matek website, and it's got everything on there. On this, all the information's there. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna have to peace out on you. And like I said, Samson messaged me last night, and he's sending me. Yeah, it's definitely a winner. Samson's sending me the newest Matek all-in-one board. I know there was issues with that first batch of all-in-ones, but he's got a new one out now that has the barometer on it. So I'll be doing a review on that soon and show you guys what is up with that. And with that being said, my dog is now being a real pain in the ass because she's got to poop. Poop. Hey. Hey, little varmint. Hey there, little varmint. So, yeah, barometer. Barometer for long range, but believe it or not, bolometer. Bolometer is very helpful also, like I was saying, for race practice, so that you know that you're not shooting up too high in the air. And I'll explain all that later when I get that board in, guys. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Peace!